fuck AI, and if you disagree with that sentiment, get the fuck out of here, because I just watched Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, and here are my general thoughts. This is one of my most anticipated of the entire year. I've made many a video about it, and overall I think it was pretty solid. I think they relatively deliver on that matter in a very creative way, in a way I wasn't expecting it to go. The adversary is a threat on multiple different levels, and I really came to enjoy that aspect of it, and the ending of this film is so subversive. I think it ultimately delivers and made everything click for me, because to be honest, there's some aspects of this film I didn't really enjoy, because everything else that wasn't AI was kind of like an old man screaming at a cloud, and that's just in terms of the unsubtlety of the matter. I think the way that these things are presented within the individual kind of weapons like chapters is pretty creative. It allows us to get to know the characters within the ultimate group within the film and their own little kind of threats. One deals with phone addiction. I think that way was kind of on the nose, but it was still fun to watch. One is about virtual realities and an averseness to technology, and while I think it's kind of the more outdated segment, I think the sentiment behind it is especially more emotionally and creatively presented. The film definitely has a more mean-spirited kind of satirical nature to it, which I think works for it as a whole, and these segments especially, but there's a segment about school that it really has me conflicted. I think it definitely has the strongest message within the end, but the way that they handle it, more of like a kind of dark comedy Black Mirror segment for the subject matter, just does not work. When I was already kind of struggling with the previously mentioned kind of unsubtle elements, this detracted me from the story many a time. The way it was mentioned in a previous segment already got me confused, and the way that it's just presented, especially joked about in terms of families having it happen multiple times, and the way that they go about and deal with that, I thought was so kind of dark comedy that it ultimately flipped back around to just being kind of not good. That's my biggest problem with the film. Side tangent over, I think as a whole, it is definitely a fun ride, despite everything I just said. Sam Rockwell kills it. It's excellently directed by Gore Verbinski. I think the writing, especially within the third act, is definitely a lot of his flair. The way that the multiple narratives collide and make sense within the final product, I think really is fun to watch, especially with a lot of the sci-fi elements, particularly the time loop dialogue is just really cool. I feel like you don't find a lot of theatrical sci-fi fare that is original, so the way that they handle it while still making it incredibly relevant, I think was masterfully done. And the way that it all culminates in the final message, I think if you leave the theater disagreeing with it inherently, I don't understand you. Despite the fact that I wish this film was a little bit higher on my radar, I think I'm teetering between a 3.5 out of 4. I'm gonna say a 4 for now. And I would say relatively that I would recommend it to the masses, because fuck AI. Have you seen Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die? What did you think? Remember, all movies are art, and of course follow for more.